something from over there and then see them as if they were joined up. That word is used as transparency because wait, I'll show you how this works. Let's say I'm farther back and you're painting us together. I'm just standing here like that and he's standing there like that. And when you paint his arm in, it will naturally look like it's my arm, but his arm will be farther out than my arm would have been. So in a sense what it does is it pulls me forward when I wasn't. So it's going, I didn't explain. How can I explain transparency? Well, here's a transparent part of this painting. We're right here. Because what does this area here look like it belongs to? Her dress. So that means she's transparently, do you get the idea?
Mm-hmm. She's forward.
She's forward. That's it. And she's forward. Now when she's forward, and yet she's not forward in terms of the intention of the artist, right, on one level, that's the key to painting. How to get that to happen, because it's very mysterious. Now, here's how you have to do that. It's very extremely. I love to think about this stuff. If you think that her hand, the woman on the right, this is her body. What do you have to do inside your mind to make this join up with her? There's something that has to go on in your mind. You have to kind of make it happen mentally. Would you agree? You have to like make it happen. And in a certain way, I think what you have to do is, well, I would connect it with breathing a little bit. Which way would you breathe to make it happen? In or out? Yeah. In or out. Some people say some people say out. I would sort of say, if you go like this, she'll sort of come forward. If you let down, she'll move back. So, well, what it turns out is that the painting is sort of breathing. The transparencies mean that the painting can come forward and go backward, come forward, and it's a big deal. It's very hard to do. But now the problem, the way I want to set up my own life is, I can't do it when I'm inventing, but when you're painting from nature, transparencies are naturally created without you having to think about them because you observe them. Let me see in one of my pictures whether I can find a transparency.
You mean in
your painting? Yeah, in my painting. See if I can find one. All right, let's try this one. Now, the theory would be that if you look at nature, nature causes transparencies to happen. Now, of course, I'm putting myself in but I know there are some transparencies happening here, and basically what they are is the same thing as when everyone talks about, and it's related to the idea of negative and positive space. Now, that is something that all artists and all students, teachers, we always talk about negative and positive. It would more or less be, does everybody know what that is? It's sort of seeing, when you're painting somebody's arm, to be aware of the space in between. Let's see if I can find a transparency that would be, oh, come on, I don't know if I can really do it. All right, this is how I would do it. I would say that this area here, right here, which is actually seeing through. In real life, there was a little fence here, and there was a house back here. I think there's actually a window. These are little windows. And I was looking through, but when you look at the picture, it appears more as if it's a big bush. I hope it's true. is you get, now if it becomes a big bush, there's a sort of a forwardness to it. So there's a forwardness where there was actually a going away. It's the transparency means you see through things and you pull things forward. You don't really do it that consciously, but nature does it all the time. So the big difference between inventing pictures and in painting from observation, and this is sort of the idea of Cézanne that was important. Now I'm really getting over your heads because this is something I don't expect anybody to follow me on, but Cézanne basically said, you don't have to learn how to paint anymore. We don't have to study the old masters. We don't have to make huge compositions. All we have to do is look at nature. Because when you look at nature, nature provides all the wonderful things that that you could only get through. You get that more? Did I get that come out right? So
doesn't happen in the railing there a lot?
how?
Well, the railing goes down with the vertical, the diagonal railing, and then it
Yeah.
goes down, and then it comes up to the top of the picture plane as triangles.
Yeah, so right there, kind of. You think does that work?
Yeah.
I think that does work too. Oh, and another what happened here is, it happens all the time when you're looking at nature. Then this dark becomes important with these darks. Even though that was the floorboards, because the floorboards you don't really see. It happens all the time whenever you look, especially when you look at trees and when you look at complicated vegetable stuff. Everything is shifting. So this main idea about painting is you want to look for the thick back and forth. Paintings are like these big bodies going. And once you get into it, I'm telling you, you could really like paintings. I mean, because actually usually when you look at them, you're tired and the pictures look sort of flat. They look flat for a while, they are flat. But after a while, you can sort of put into them this sort of breathing, bigger thing. And that's what all the painters seem to do. And so it's possible to really actually become extremely excited about painting, but it takes a little bit of work. In a detailed way, to look at the precision of them. Look at the face. Okay, let's just walk through all my slides. All right, we'll go look at, let's go, keep going, go to, we'll just keep going, we'll just bob through. All right, now watch this one, now look at the next one. That is an amazing piece of art. But the main thing I think to look at, I'll just tell you what I would have tried to get you all to say, because you would have after a while. Isn't this a wonderful thing here, the way the line goes down, and it hits that, and it goes over to there, so that you sort of see these shapes kind of denying this strange, it links her with the, with all the shapes of the picture. And it's just terrific. All right, now you got to look at Watteau. You got to show you who Watteau is. That's basically it, and then we'll be done. Now that one, well, that's one of Watteau's. Okay, that's an invented drawing of Watteau's, and it's not as good as the ones we just looked at. Okay, next one. That might be the painting that you were talking about. I'm not sure. Do you think it is?
Yeah, it's
It's a different version.
That's what Watteau is famous for. These, now what's the name of these kind of paintings? Someone help me out here.
Fête champêtre. Or
What?
fête galante, very. Sometimes called fête galante.
Fête galante.
Sometimes fête champêtre.
And what's the last word there? Fête. The second.
Galante.
No, the second one.
Champêtre, rustic.
And fête is sort of like a joyful dance.
Festival. Fête champêtre is a rural festival.
Perfect. A rural festival, but in this case with say you'll see Watteau in a museum, and then the idea from all these kind of talking about paintings, then you'll say, oh, I remember some guy talking about this, and you'll have some familiarity with it, because that's what we have to do. We just keep talking to each other about paintings. I have a few more painters to show you, lots more slides. We'll flip through them. Okay, next one. Another one. This could be the one. This is the same type of painting. You know, also one thing interesting about it is they're never really doing anything very risque in these paintings. They're just sort of about to. You know, they're just, people aren't in the bushes. You know what I'm saying? But this guy, you can tell, they're very fun to look at because he is really kind of putting his energy into.
He's ready to go.
He's ready to go, and the women look so demure, but they're, you know, there's that. It's fabulous. It's fun to see it like that. Tremendous amount of give and take, and okay, it's on and on with that. So now this is the other side of Watteau, the straightforward genre scene of daily life. So he has paintings of daily life, and I have 2 slides of these. This kind of painting you'll see in, there's these are genre paintings, but they're paintings with pots and pans, lots of pots and pans, with the backyards, with people with brooms, the poor people, and what it's like inside the courtyard. It is actually, I love these paintings, and they're extremely abstract, so that you can study structure and abstraction and transparency. I mean, now what we would do to make fun is I would say, where is the greatest transparent activity happening? And we could, you know, you have to push it a bit. The way you see it is, all right, let's do it in this one. The way you find the transparent flow is you have to connect things that don't quite connect. Like, let's say you start up on the top and there's somebody hanging out a window, right? And then there's an arm going down. Let's say you flowed down, and then you get down to the broom, and then you get down to here or to here. You notice that after a while, there's all these clues to movement. I mean, it's just simply, so